Welcome back to Goggly. Today, we're reviewing the Apple laptop, the MacBook Air M3. While it may look sleek and boast Apple's powerful chip, there are a few compelling reasons not to rush out and buy it. If you're considering upgrading or joining the Apple ecosystem, you'll want to stick around to hear why this laptop might not be the best choice for you. So, what exactly is new with the MacBook Air M3? Well, the most noticeable update is the new anodized coating. It's supposed to be more fingerprint resistant, but let's be honest, if you're using it without a case or a skin, you'll still get smudges and prints all over it. This update is hardly revolutionary, but it's the first thing Apple wants you to notice. The big draw, of course, is the new M3 chip. This third-generation Apple Silicon is supposed to offer a performance boost over the M2, mainly in graphics processing. You get ray tracing, which is great if you're into 3D rendering or intensive graphics work. However, if your main use case is browsing the web, checking email, and streaming videos, this new chip's extra power might be more than you need. Overall, the design changes are minimal, and while the M3 chip is faster, it's not enough to justify an upgrade if you're happy with your current setup. But let's talk about the real deal breakers. Let's dive into the performance of the MacBook Air M3. Sure, it's faster than the M2, benchmarks show an improvement of about 10 to 20%, mostly in graphics. But in the real world, where most of us aren't rendering complex animations or compiling massive codebases, it's hard to tell the difference. If you're just using it for basic tasks, you might be overpaying for performance you won't use. Battery life remains strong, as expected with Apple Silicon. That's good news for those of us who forget to charge our devices regularly. The M3 also supports dual external displays with the lid closed, which is nice if you have a multi-monitor setup. But let's be real, most MacBook Air users aren't running mission control in their home office. One bright spot is the base storage. Unlike the M2's single, slower SSD, the M3 has improved storage speed. This is good news for anyone who transfers large files or needs quick access to data. However, the question remains, does this justify the price jump? Probably not, especially when you consider that most users won't notice these improvements in everyday tasks. Now, let's talk about the price. The MacBook Air M3 starts at $1,099, which might seem reasonable, until you realize that's for the base model with just 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. If you want to upgrade to 16GB of RAM, that's an extra $200. Need more storage? Add another $200. Before you know it, you're looking at a laptop costing well over $1,500. Meanwhile, the M2 MacBook Air is available for $999, and the discontinued M1 MacBook Air can be found for as low as $649 at major retailers. This price disparity makes it hard to justify the M3, especially when the M2 and M1 offer similar performance for much less. You could buy two M1 MacBook Airs and still have money left over for accessories. So, the price issue is a significant reason to consider other options. Apple charges a premium for every upgrade, and these costs add up quickly. If you're on a budget or don't need the latest tech, the M2 or M1 might be a smarter choice. Let's talk about the base specifications of the MacBook Air M3. 8GB of RAM and 256GB of storage? In 2024? What is this, a time machine? With smartphones offering more memory and storage, the base specs on the M3 feel outdated, especially considering the price. If you want to upgrade, you'll have to pay Apple's premium, and that's where things get expensive. Another issue with the base spec is that you can't upgrade it later. Once you buy it, you're stuck with what you have. This lack of upgradability makes the initial purchase decision critical. If you need more power or storage down the line, you'll have to buy a new laptop. Apple is great at encouraging you to buy the latest and greatest, but it's not so great at offering flexibility. Considering the base spec limitations, you might wonder why Apple is selling a laptop that seems underpowered for the price. The truth is, they're banking on you paying extra for upgrades, turning what seems like a good deal into a financial trap. If you're not careful, you could end up spending a lot more than you intended. Now, let's talk about who should, and shouldn't, buy the MacBook Air M3. If you're a casual user who mainly uses the laptop for light tasks, like web browsing, email, and video streaming, the base model might be okay. But if you plan on doing anything more intensive, like video editing, coding, or gaming, the base specs will quickly feel limiting, and the cost of upgrades will be painful. If you're looking for a laptop for everyday use, the M2 MacBook Air offers almost the same performance for less money. It's a solid option for those who want a reliable laptop without the high price tag. You get similar design and features without needing to sell a kidney to afford it. But if you're really looking for a bargain, the M1 MacBook Air is still available at a steal. It might be a bit older, but it can handle most tasks without breaking a sweat. At just $649, it's a deal you can't ignore, especially if you need a reliable laptop for school, work, or general use. So, there you have it. The MacBook Air M3 has some nice features and a sleek design, but it's not necessarily the best choice for everyone. The base specs are limited, the price is high, and the upgrade costs are just too much. If you need a laptop for basic tasks, go with the M2 or even the M1. They'll save you money and still get the job done. If you're in the market for a new laptop, consider your needs and budget carefully. Don't let the shiny new thing fool you, it might not be the best fit for you. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more reviews and tech tips. See you next time, and remember, sometimes it's better to be smart with your money than to follow the latest trend.